Okay, I gotta say that I noticed a disturbing trend on, well, the internet, but I guess also real life too, since real life is an extension of the internet. A disturbing trend I've been noticing is that people are supporting rape in certain circumstances. Circumstances are that it's okay to rape a rapist, or it's okay to rape a pedophile. Any sex abuser, offender, really. They're saying it's okay to rape them, and I guess you can consider this as a follow-up to my Prison Rape is Not Okay video, because, well, rape is not okay, period, okay? Rape is never okay. Rape is never okay, and I'm making this video because, it seems like more and more often people are condoning rape of, sexual abusers and sex offenders, and I don't think that's right. And they even support rape as punishment rape as punishment for them, and I don't think that's right. I don't think that's right because, okay, well, why isn't rape okay? Why isn't rape ever okay? Well, I say it's not okay because you're violating someone with your genitals, and while it's okay to kill in certain circumstances, I don't think it's ever okay to rape. I don't think it's okay to rape in certain circumstances. I think that's just plain wrong. And I don't think it can be used as punishment because this is where it gets kind of hard to explain. In fact, I kind of think my friend kind of had trouble explaining it, but he kind of explained it like this, that the Punisher is kind of losing their innocence, kind of not being that legitimate when they rape someone as punishment. He said you can kill someone as punishment, the death penalty, and have it be legitimate, but you can't rape someone as punishment and have it be legitimate, because you're kind of, it's hard to explain, it's kind of like exposing yourself, losing your innocence as a Punisher when you violate someone with your genitals rather than just take away their life, because rape is a really vile act, and to use it even as a punishment can't be legitimate either. So he kind of said it like that, and I'm kind of saying it like that, so it scares me when people start to justify acts of violence that, well, aren't justifiable. Because when you condone unjustified violence, you're basically saying evil is okay, it's not, because it's unjustified violence, so it's evil, and you're basically saying it's okay, and you're letting people get harmed, shouldn't be harmed, or at least people that maybe should be harmed, but they shouldn't be harmed in this way, get harmed in this way. And plus, if you justify unjustifiable violence, then chances are people will partake in it more. Because, well, it's being justified. It's not being condemned. It's not being stopped. You're not stopping it. You're justifying it. So it's a slippery slope, basically, the way I see it. Like, it's not just bad in and of itself. It can lead to more bad things. And I hope my constant eyebrow raising isn't getting annoying, because I do it a lot. I don't think, while I technically disagree with the death penalty, I do see some legitimacy in it to kill someone for being an asshole, really big asshole, really nasty asshole. No pun intended, of course. They did something pretty bad. I can see why people think they just shouldn't be around anymore. But to say someone should be raped for doing something really bad, yeah, that's not cool. In fact, get this, I've not only seen people justifying prison rape to rapists, sex offenders, sex abusers in general, I've also seen them justify it for murderers. Now, these aren't people that violated other people with their genitals, these are people that took away other people's lives. And I think that's scary that, that people justify rape, not only if you're a rapist yourself, but even if you didn't do rape. If you just did, basically you just have to do something bad, really bad, like murder, to have your rape be considered justified by society. And I think that's sick, and that's wrong. Society shouldn't justify any rape. I don't think we should have a society where something is justified just because it happens to a bad person. I kind of think, well, is this a rightful punishment in, number one? Does the punishment fit the crime? Number two, which is kind of part of number one. You can't just punish anyone any way you like. I say, when someone deserves to be punished, they deserve to be punished right. Well, they should be punished right. Okay, I guess you could say they deserve to be punished right. I mean, I guess it sounded kind of silly at first when I said they deserve to be punished right. Well, I guess it sounded kind of funny because it sounds like I'm bestowing upon, saying they deserve something good. But in a way, but I'm still being consistent in saying they deserve something bad. If they deserve to be punished, then they deserve to be punished right, which still means they deserve to be punished, which is something bad for them. It may sound kind of good, like, oh, you think they should be punished right. But I'm like, well, but they do, because they deserve to be punished, and punishment should be justified in every way, and that includes punishing the criminal right. They deserve something bad, but they deserve the right kind of bad thing. So you can't just punish anybody any way you like, no matter what the crime, the way I see it. And I don't think this is really going to help just saying, hey, it's just so funny, he's going to get it in prison by Bubba. Yeah, Bubba. They got this stereotype of a black muscular rapist in prison. That's not just condoning rape, that's stereotyping people, which I think is kind of dumb and cringy as well. And also, people are okay with, I think people are okay with rapists being raped outside of jail. It's like, okay, someone raped rapists, who cares? Another thing that's bad, I'd say, about prison rape, and well, about raping a rapist, is that you can't really call it justice because they're not doing it for justice. If a rapist doesn't just go up to someone and say, I'm gonna rape you because you raped someone. They're gonna say, well, they're gonna mean that I'm gonna rape you because I want to, because I wanna rape you, I'm gonna rape you because I'm gonna rape you, because I want to. It's not gonna be out of justice, it's because I wanna rape you. It doesn't matter who the victim is, a rapist wants to rape them for their own, selfish reasons. And even if they did want to rape them out of justice, come on, that's not right. You're still violating a person, and if rape is to be administered as a punishment, how do you even do it? Do you have the rapist of a rapist wear a condom, and does it bareback? Yeah, I know it's kind of detailed, but it kind of have to be if you're going to talk about the subject. Who is the rapist? Just some guy you hire off the street, or is it a prison official, or is it a law enforcement official? How does this thing even work? Could you even make it work properly by having the right person rape the right person in the right way? It doesn't seem like it can even be set up properly in a justifiable way. So, when I see people on the internet think rape is okay if it's just the right person, I get very disappointed in them. Not that my approval matters anything to them, of course it doesn't, but I get disappointed in them anyway because I don't think anyone should act like that. I don't think anybody should rape anybody for any reason, and I don't think people should approve rape for any reason. It's still rape. It's that bad. Rape is so bad that there's no legitimacy for it at all, ever. You can kill in certain circumstances and have it be legitimate, but you can't rape in certain circumstances and have it be legitimate because it's just that bad. And I think people need to start condemning rape no matter what it is in order to try and solve it, fix it, or at least not have this dumb viewpoint that it's okay if a rapist gets raped because he was a rapist, and mentality. I'd also like it if people stopped approving of the death penalty too, because it's just way too risky to try and kill someone who's an asshole when you could kill an innocent person, which has happened. I think it's more important to not have innocent people die out of, like collateral damage, so to speak, than to punish assholes, than to punish the guilty as severely as possible. Which is what the death penalty is. It's to punish them as severely as possible. That's what it's about, They don't deserve to be around anymore for what they did. But if you punish someone as severely as possible, and you can get innocent lives involved in the process, which they have, then you just made a really irredeemable, unforgivable mistake, the way I see it. You just cost someone innocent their lives just to punish someone guilty as severely as possible. And for some reason I can't talk today. I feel like there should be a lesser punishment than a death penalty. Maybe life sentencing, or maybe just a long sentence than the death penalty. Because that, you can put the brakes on and still save the innocent person. With the death penalty, they're dead. You can't save them. It's too late. They're gone. The death penalty is permanent, not only for the people who are actually guilty, but for the people who are innocent. It doesn't discriminate when it's carried out. You can't just hit the reset button and say, oh, that's an innocent person. We just hit the reset button and voila. No, it doesn't work like that. That's just permanent. Death penalty is permanent. It's permanent punishment. Yeah. If you bring out an innocent person, that's really disastrous. And as I may have said before, I think people that carry out the death penalty on an innocent person should be fired from law permanently. They should be fired for their job, and they shouldn't be able to get another one in terms of law. Because that's what your job concerned law. You really screwed up on it. I don't think you should ever be able to work again. I think you just be forced to stop working immediately by being fired. And I don't think you should be able to ever be able to work in law again, because you cost an innocent person their lives. That's permanent. So I think, something permanent should happen to you for making such a big fuck up. You don't deserve to just be back at the bench in the courtroom just banging your gavel for other people when you got an innocent one killed as a judge. Judges who does the sentencing, I believe the legislator is the one that determines what possible punishments he can have for this crime. And a judge chooses one of those sentencings, and the cops escort the person away to jail, and the executioner does the executioning. So I believe everyone involved in the process should be fired because they made a permanent mistake. I feel like that should cost them their career. But this isn't about the death penalty. It's about condoning rape in certain circumstances, which I don't think should happen ever. I don't think rape should happen ever, and I don't think condoning it should happen ever. So I think society needs to grow up and learn how to properly administer justice. Otherwise, there will be none. If you don't know how to properly administer justice, then essentially there is none, because you don't know how to administer it properly, which isn't real justice. The absence of justice is injustice. So yeah, it has to be done properly. So that's all I really have to say.